Hi everyone. Well, with certain media outlets suggesting that there's snow on the way over the next few days, we thought we should give a bit of an update to what actually is likely to happen, and some differences in the weekly forecast that we gave a few days ago compared to how things are looking now. So this is what things were looking like for Thursday, or the coming Thursday, on the American model. This is just a few days ago, and we see this area of low pressure here running up through the English Channel. Now this was going to give rain and possibly some strong winds, and perhaps a little bit of hill sleet as it departed. With the German model suggesting something a little closer to this, with the area of low pressure moving down here and moving up across into in towards France. Now, as I probably said back in that update, is that we tend to trust the German model a little bit more. It's the one that we find a little bit more reliable, and it does seem like this will be the case, because as you can see here, this is as we move into Thursday, this is the updated data. So this one was from midday today, which is reasonably up to date. There's some more data coming out now, but this is the midday run. And you can see that that area of low pressure was pretty much moving down towards France. In fact, if anything, it was stalling and then sinking south even further as we moved towards Friday. Now, the thing is with this little low pressure, it's thrown some fronts northwards across towards the UK, where at least it will be. So as we look here, we can see the rainfall rates, or the precipitation. So it's not just rain. This will show rain or snow, but it will only show it as the rates at the moment, using this scale here. Now, as we move through into Wednesday, into tomorrow, and then into Thursday, we'll get there in just a moment. You can actually see that in the English Channel there is a front, and there's also some showers. So you see this broken area here. This is a selection of a front lingering around in the channel, plus with showers developing just ahead of it as well. And it gets very close to us. But you can see here also the winds are coming in from the northeast, and the temperatures are around 3 to 4 degrees Celsius. Now, this is a little bit too mild for anything falling to turn to snow, but there are hints on some of the models that this area of rainfall here could be slightly further north, perhaps affecting southern England in these areas here. Now, if this does end up being the case, over the highest ground we may see some snow, or some sleety conditions at least. And this is what we actually mentioned in the update on Sunday a couple of days ago. But it is very difficult to say how far north this will push. So based on this model, it doesn't quite reach us. But like I said, a couple of the other models are showing hints of things being further north. So there is the possibility of some wintry conditions maybe on Thursday into Thursday afternoon, maybe into the evening. So let's have a quick look at Thursday, and you can see here that it really is looking quite damp and cold, and potentially some wintry weather, mostly over the hills. So we see up here towards possibly towards Tennyson Down maybe, but generally above Compton Bay, places like this, Chillerton Down, St Catherine's Down, along the south coast of the island up towards maybe Ventnor Down and around these areas. We could see a little bit of winteriness over the highest tops of those hills, although in more coastal areas it will likely just be rain, perhaps falling as sleet away from the windward coasts. So you can see here that the temperatures will be 3 to 4, perhaps even as high as 5 down in the far southeast here, but 1 to 2 degrees across most of the island. But as you can see here, the more northern coast, closer to around 3, and that would be in a strong northeasterly wind. Now, with the temperatures being this low, and with the winds being so strong, we're going to be looking at a wind chill temperature. This is how it will feel. So along the east coast here, even though the winds will be very strong, the temperature will be slightly higher. Whereas further to the west, it will still be quite gusty at times, but the temperature will be significantly lower. So you can see these wind chills, -4, -3, -4 in the east here, -5, -6, perhaps as low as feeling of -7 down along the west coast. And that's because the wind, as it blows over the downs here, actually accelerates. So you get these really gusty conditions along the west coast, even though the wind is blowing in from the northeast, and which will be blowing offshore. But you do get these very gusty conditions. So that combined with the low temperatures, it will feel closer to around -7 in these areas. So there we are, really. That kind of answers the question, is snow really on the way? The answer is really not really, I would say, but the highest hills may see a little bit as this area of precipitation, which will be rain at first, moves up from the south. Of course, if this changes, we will let you know. There is a bit of potential there that there could be something a little more significant, but at the moment it doesn't look too likely. But of course, like I said, I'll give you more updates a bit closer to the time. So that's all for now. Goodbye.